I have just arrived at my brand new ranch, and over the next 100 days I will be attempting to complete a 100% slime rancher. This means popping every gordo, completing every achievement, finding every slime, opening every treasure spot, finishing the entire story, and creating a fully automated ranch that generates millions of new bucks. I survived the 100 days slime rancher, and this is what happened. We start to start off day 1 by completing the tutorial. We can sack slimes, shoot them in the corral so they can't escape, feed them, and sell their poop for money. Easy enough, right? Now that we've got the basics down, we can head off and collect a few more pink slimes, which we add to our corral. With no time to waste, we venture even further, where we find and collect the rock and tabby slimes, as well as unlocking the map. Immediately we return to the ranch and collect all the new pink plots in order to purchase a new corral to house our newly acquired slimes. And after selling a few more pink plots, I purchased my first upgrade for the corral, making the walls twice as tall so they can't escape that easily. By feeding the tabby slimes and rock plots, I create something called a largo. Now if you're new to slime rancher, let me explain. Every slime except the pink one, it's either vegetables, meat or fruit, and gives us one plot. By feeding a slime its favorite food, which we give you the Slimepedia, the slime gives us 2 plots instead. Now if we feed the slime a different type of plot, they turn into a largo, which is basically a fusion of the 2 slime types. Now by feeding the largos one of their preferred food, we get 2 plots, and if that food is either one of the 2 slimes' favorite, we get 4 plots instead, basically making a ton of money while also conserving food. Though we have to be very careful not to feed them a third type of plot, but we'll get into that later. After selling a few rock and tabby plots, I'm able to afford the airnet, making completely sure the slimes can't escape. By taking this secret passage, I'm able to find the heartbeat, the favorite food of the rock slimes, and back at the ranch I purchase a garden and upgrade it, where I plant said heartbeat. I end of the day by reading some star mail. On day 2 I feed the heartbeats to my beloved rock tabby largos, upgrade my stamina, and collect a lot of food in order to feed the pink gordo. Now in order to pop a gordo, you need to feed them either 40 of their preferred food type or 20 of their favorite food, but since this one was a pink gordo, it didn't take nearly as much. We collect our first slime key, which we use to unlock the door to the indigo quarry. The indigo quarry is home to new species of slimes like the boom slime, which, well, as the name suggests, explodes, the rat slime, the crystal slime, and the paddle slime. The latter being a special type of slime that you can only keep in ponds and will produce plots automatically, but as a result you can't use their plots to make largos. Remember when I said we must be careful not to feed the largo another type of plot? Well, this is what happens if you do. These are called tars and they eat slimes and you as well. Back at the ranch on day 3 I get rid of the pink slimes by throwing them in the ocean and replace them with rat crystal largos. I also purchased a new corral where I put boom rat largos. If you're wondering why I'm making so many rat largos, it's because their favorite food, oka oka, is easy to cultivate. After selling a few more plots I buy the plot collector update because let's just say trying to manually pick up their plots is quite painful. I also accept our very first trade offer with Thora West. She wants 6 tabby slimes and 1 rat plot in exchange for some chicken and new bucks. I obviously get the rat plots easily since I have a lot of rat slimes on my ranch, but getting the tabby slimes takes me the remainder of day 3. And I even stumbled across an odd onion, a really rare crop, which I'm only taking to unlock the Slimepedia entry. Alas, I'm able to complete it, claiming a reward. Although trading with one of the 3 NPCs, where after we complete the trade they give us special chances to unlock new rats expansions, is gonna be much more useful. For now I sell the plots of my newly acquired slimes and purchase our first ranch expansion, the grotto. Here we're gonna keep all the phosphor largos since phosphor slimes time when they are exposed to sunlight, and because I think the solar seal upgrade looks really ugly. After a bit I'm able to afford all the currently available personal upgrades. So yeah, I can fly and collect water now. I head off collecting food on the way to feed this rock gordo, and after popping it I unlock a teleporter leading all the way back to the grotto expansion on my ranch. So now I have a fast travel to the indigo quarry and back. I accept another trade offer, this time from Victor, one of the 3 NPCs I mentioned earlier, and complete his quest easily. After doing so, I collect some phosphor slimes since it's nighttime and purchase a garden in the grotto where I plant their favorite food, the Q-berry. I then make some phosphor crystal largos. Following a quick nap I collect all the Q-berries but not to feed the slimes on my ranch. Instead, I pop this phosphor gordo and use the key drop to unlock the moss blanket. Like the indigo quarry, the moss blanket has new slimes like the honey slime, and they're really annoying to get hunter slime because it's freaking invisible 90% of the time. I purchase a new corral to house hunter honey largos. When you create hunter largos they are immediately feral and attack you, but luckily I was prepared and had food on me, calming them down. I also bought a garden next to the paddle slime pond where I plant mint mangoes, favorite food of the honey slimes, and it's very important to feed them frequently so they don't turn feral again. I complete Ogden's trade offer and spend the rest of day 6 selling plots until I amass a total of 10,000 new bucks. With my newfound wealth I purchased the lab. Here is where all the magic happens. I can shoot plots into the refiner to be able to use them, buy gadgets here and craft those gadgets here. Right now I can only craft the extractors, which by pressing T and placing them in the correspondent areas I can get a plethora of different materials to be able to make more advanced gadgets. Basically all the gadgets require pink plorts, so I put some pink honey largos as well as 2 mini mango farms in the lab area. Collected the resources from the extractor and deposited them into the refinery. Completed Mochi Miles trade offer and got a star from her, inviting me to her ranch. I went to a conveniently placed teleporter in the grotto and arrived. Here she basically told me about the new type of slime that can only eat electricity, the Quicksilver slime, and how if I collect enough plorts she would give me some ranch upgrades as well as pay me. All you gotta do in Mochi Miles challenge is compete in 2 daily races and collect the spark shots and shoot the upcoming Quicksilver slimes to collect their plorts. You can also run through the green cycles to go faster if you want to go along with them, but I prefer collecting these power ups and shooting them from a choke point. After the first 2 races I managed to get over 200 Quicksilver plort and unlocked the first ranch upgrade for the coup. I decided to leave Mochi Miles challenge for later, since at the moment I want to focus on full maxing and automating my runs first. I buy an auto feeder for the phosphor largos, and using the money I got from Mochi Miles challenge, I purchased a few more upgrades and the overgrowth, our third ranch expansion. Here I built a silo and deposit all of my plorts. If you're wondering why, let me tell you. Since I've been selling a lot of plorts, all the prices have dropped to oblivion. Hence why it is more worth it to store them and wait until their price go up. It's basic supply and demand. After moving all of my plorts to the silo, I craft a few more extractors and place the APIs in the moss blanket and the drills in the indigo quarry. On my way back, I collect every type of chicken I've found so far and place them in a coop so they can reproduce and allow us to feed all the meat-eating gordos. Until then, I collect all the mint mangoes and pop this one gordo, getting yet another key, which I use to unlock the door to the entrance of the ancient ruins. Now I gotta feed these statues and plorts to unlock this gigantic entrance to the actual ancient ruins. Here we find the quantum slimes, objectively the most annoying slimes to ranch, since they can teleport out of the corral if they are hungry enough, and you also shoot some fruit into this ghost tree to get some face lemons. That's basically all the ancient ruins have to offer, so I return to the ranch and purchase a new corral in the overgrowth, where I put all the quantum slimes. I also buy a garden and plant the face lemons. Collect the resources from the extractors and craft some more, unlocking their advanced versions, which basically means they last longer. I also add some tabby and rock honey largos to the lab area. I sleep quite early so the extractors are ready to be collected, and on the way to collect the materials for the ones in the moss blanket, I gather a lot of chickens since the ones on the ranch are reproducing very slowly, and feed these tabby gordos sitting on the teleporter to the overgrowth, allowing me to have easy access to the moss blanket. After another night's sleep, I check the plort market and see that most of the plorts have reached a decent price, so I sell them all, ending up with just over 50,000 new bucks. I put the money to good use by purchasing all the remaining upgrades as well as the treasure cracker, allowing me to open the first level of the treasure pods, but I'm gonna wait before I can unlock all 3 levels before doing so. Well, except for the one at the lab, which turned out to be worth it since I got diamonds, which are pretty rare. I also purchased every blueprint that's currently available. After a few more trips to the moss blanket, I'm able to craft my first 2 drones, placing one in the lab and one in the main part of the ranch to handle the more dull chores. I decided to get rid of the tabby rock largos, I know, very sad, and in their place I moved the silo from the overgrowth so it's easier to transfer plorts from the plort collectors. I replaced the heartbeats with a second Oka Oka farm since I don't need them anymore. I bought the second tier of the treasure cracker not even one full day after the first one. I know I said I wouldn't open any treasure pods, but I did open one in the moss blanket since it drops royal jelly, which is super useful. I also upgraded the coop and had to sleep yet again. On day 14 I go on a gordo feeding rampage, popping this tabby gordo sitting on a teleporter leading to an island. On said island I popped this pink gordo getting a key, this rock gordo sitting on a teleporter to a volcanic island, and finally I feed this rat gordo in the indigo quarry getting yet another key. I am back in the ancient ruins to collect a few quantum plorts but not to sell them. Instead, by feeding them to these statues I unlock a teleporter to the glass desert. Here I find the dervish slime, which is really dangerous to keep in your runs, but you will see why later. I unlock a few more slimepedia entries and at one point the sky turns red and fire starts coming out of the ground. Not gonna lie, I was scared for my life a bit, but it wasn't all bad since the fire's birth, fire slime, the fiery cousin of the puddle slime. After everything goes back to normal, I venture deeper and find the mosaic slimes, but sadly I did have to ditch my fire slimes. I return to the ranch and purchase the dogs, let's purchase several ranch expansion and make some dervish mosaic largos and the garden of prickled pears. After being gone for so long, the quantum slimes were basically everywhere except in their own corral, so out of frustration I just throw them all in the ocean. In the grotto I create dervish and mosaic phosphor largos, I replace all the extractors with the more advanced versions and head to sleep. In the morning I collect the final hexacom needed to craft a teleporter, which I place in the glass desert. By feeding some mosaic plorts to these statues I make this fountain start flowing with ancient water, and by shooting these plants with the ancient water I'm able to bring them back to life. My goal is to fully rejuvenate the desert to its previous glory, but in order to do that I will need to find and activate the remaining 3 fountains in order to be able to reach the plants all throughout the rest of the glass desert. Before I do that I found the tangle slime, which spawned from the rejuvenated plants, and also got a few more fire slimes, which I'm not gonna throw away this time. Finding the remaining 3 fountains did end up to be quite easy as I rejuvenate the plants on the dervish fountain area that tangled area and the rock area, completely rejuvenating the glass desert. After my small victory, I moved the paddle slimes to this natural pond in the docks and replaced them with fire slimes. The drift slimes were going crazy and accidentally created a tub, but luckily I was able to sort that out. I make some mosaic tangle largos. While trying to complete the trade offer with Ogden Ortiz, I stumbled across the extremely rare golden slime and feed it to get one of the hardest Slimepedia entries. After completing the trade offer, Ogden invites me to his ranch. Ogden's challenge, in my opinion, is the most tedious one, having you wander across areas filled with feral saber slimes, which are basically the dinosaurs of Slime Rancher, to collect the rare Kukaduba fruit. Why is that so hard to say? And in exchange he will give you tofu as well as some upgrades for the garden. Like the first one, some managed to unlock being a mix that prevents crops from rotting, which I apply to every garden. Like most Smiles challenge, I will leave the rest of it for later. I decided, since I had a lot of crystal largos, to get rid of the rat ones and replace them with saber rattle largos. I craft my first decoration. It's nothing spectacular, but it looks cool, I guess. On day 22 I pop every gordo that I had missed so far, including ones in the glass desert, the volcano island, except I forget to feed the ones in the ancient ruins, but don't worry, I do feed them eventually. Back at the ranch, I craft another drone and place it in the lab. Now, as long as I water them roughly every day, this part of the ranch will be fully automated. I deposit some mosaic slimes completing Victor's quest and arrive at his workshop. He sends me to a replica of the Farfar range to help him expand his knowledge on slimes by spotting glitched slimes that I can convert to error reports. Unlike the other quests, I decided to fully complete Victor's one, since one of the rewards is an advanced drone which can handle 2 tasks at once instead of 1, and I do just that on day 27, earning the first of the 3 NPC runs expansion. I joined the 7Z rewards club and reached the 11th rank, unlocking the market link, allowing me to sell plots indirectly without depositing them at a plot market, which is a must if you want to make money automatically using drones. I customized my house and backpack and placed 2 advanced drones and a market link in the docks so other chaos doesn't break out again, and another one in the main part of the ranch, fully automating these areas as well. I then make my way to the edge of the glass desert where I come across 2 doors and a note from H, the previous owner, who has been leaving such notes throughout the whole map. This one talks about how he met his current wife, Thora, and had to choose between 2 doors, love and this ranch. In the end, he sold his ranch to, well, us, and moved in with Thora. How cute, but also not relatable at all. But hey, I still have my slimes, which, now that I think about it, I kinda kidnapped them, but hey, let's overlook that. While I was about to leave, I heard the weird twinkle noise that turned out to be Gilded Ginger, the rarest item in all of Slime Rancher that can only spawn once a day in one of the 74 spawn locations in the glass desert that can only be accessed through the Slime wiki. Sadly, it can't be farmed, so I just deposited it in the silo for now. I crafted a few more decorations like some rocks that glow and a slime lamp. Since I read H's last note, he sent me a star mail saying he unlocked 3 vaults all throughout the map. I accidentally opened Casey's late star mail, which caused me to beat the game. Yeah, you heard that right. I accidentally beat the story of the game in just shy of 30 days. But I've still got miles to go till 100% completion. Not gonna lie, the credits were fire, but as soon as they were done, I gathered food to pop the last remaining gordos. The reason is that in order to unlock the 3 vaults, I will need slime keys, and right now I only have 1 since I spent all of them opening doors in the glass desert. Oh, and I incinerated the baby chicken because it's an achievement for some reason. And so, I fed the Quantum Boom and Hunter gordos. I also placed a teleporter and connected it to the moss blanket, since it was still taking me a decent amount of time to get to it using the Tap Gordo teleporter. I purchased a final treasure cracker upgrade. Now it's time to search for the vault. H didn't give me the slightest hint about the teleporter's location to get to the actual vault, so I figured they would be in the most random areas, and well, I was right. The first teleporter was on top of the island we gained access to after feeding a second Tap Gordo. After opening the door, I see 4 level 3 treasure pods and this switch, and of course, I flick it immediately, thinking it would open a secret door, and it actually did. Although the door was on the ceiling and out of it came a ton of feral largos. Thanks to my intelligence, I now have to collect all the rewards while simultaneously fighting for my life. After opening all the treasure pods and nearly dying a bunch of times, I gathered a total of 40 gold plots and ran back to the teleporter. I sell all the gold plots and make 20,000 U-bucks. Searching for the second vault takes me a whole day until eventually I found it on the volcano island. I was pretty excited since this one has to be better than the last one because it took way longer to find. You can imagine my immense disappointment when all I got was a singular gold plot. I spent the whole day just to get 1 gold plot. Luckily the last vault was worth all the disappointment since I got more than 100 gold plots, having to make multiple trips to sell them all. After this small side quest, I placed some extractors in the glass desert to get the area specific materials. Following a lot of procrastination, I finally decided to start doing most Miles' quest. I completed the 2 daily race and decided to move the honey tabby largos from the lab to Victor's workshop. I replaced him with a second corral of pink honey largos since having only 1 doesn't generate pink plots quickly enough. My daily routine for the next few days consists of sleeping, completing completing most miles 2 daily races, taking the extraction to the most blanket in the glass desert, watering my drones and sleeping again. I take a break on day 35 to completely renovate the grotto. This means getting rid of the mosaic and dervish phosphor largos and replacing them with boom and rad ones, whose plorts are more useful in the refinery. Speaking of that, I place a refinery and marketing as well as 2 drones completely automating the area. After that short air mission, I'm back to grinding, collecting quicksilver plorts like my life depends on it, until finally on day 40 I deposit the last remaining ones and unlock my second NPC Ranch expansion. And oh my gosh, the view is insane. Now that I completed Mochimaru's mission, I can finally rest a bit and take things a little bit slower. So I'm gonna spend another 10 days collecting over 100 Kukadupas to unlock the final Ranch expansion. Why am I doing this to myself? I want to take a moment to thank whoever decided to add mud balls, because without them this would have taken twice as long. The latter basically is just a ball that throw in a green nut cracker to get 5 to 6 Kukadupas very easily, instead of traversing the whole map to collect them one by one. On day 46 I accidentally miscalculated the jump and died for the first time ever since I started this run. It wasn't that bad since I ended up getting an achievement for that, so hey. Anyways, on the very next day I collect the last Kukadupa and unlock the final Ranch expansion. Next thing on my list is to unlock every single treasure point in the entire game. Before I do that, I place the refinery link in the glass desert to be able to transport the plethora of materials easier. Anyways, let the treasure pro hunt begin. Starting with this one hidden in a small crevice behind the grotto, officially discovering all 2 of the treasure pods hidden in the ranch. Moving on to the dry reef, the treasure pods were relatively easy to find and had surprisingly decent rewards. Other than the usual decorations, some dropped rare materials like lava dust and even some functional gadgets. The same can be said for the indigo quarry, which gave me a lot of strange diamonds. Here I encountered something extremely rare. While I was wandering around searching for some treasure pods, I find this glistening slime, also known as the twinkle slime, which, if I'm not mistaken, can only spawn during certain days in December, which so happened to be the time when I was recording the video. Other than being a big flex, the twinkle slime is pretty useless, exploding into chimes, which are basically notes, and spawning a temporary teleporter back to the ranch. But hey, at least it's pretty cool, right? Anyways, on day 50 I unlocked the final treasure pod in the indigo quarry, acquiring the series fashion pod. I breezed through a moss blanket, well, except for the moment where I died and lost a whole bunch of resources. The same can almost be said about the ancient ruins. I was only 1 treasure pod shy, and this specific one was way harder to find compared to the other ones. I'm not even joking when I say it took me a full day to find it, and in the end it was hidden behind these fake vines. I'm on to the final area, the glass desert. The treasure pods here are in really bizarre place that you would normally not come across naturally. While searching, I unlocked the pepper jam, found another twinkle slime, messed around a bit by playing some music, and found another gilded ginger. That's some pretty insane luck right there. I also discovered that I had somehow missed a plant when I was rejuvenating the desert, but it was easy to take care of, so now I've actually fully rejuvenated the desert. I found a few more gilded ginger and unlocked the master form of all the extractors from the treasure pods. On the night of day 61, I found the last treasure pod in the glass desert. I have now found all the treasure pods in the main game. It's time to decorate the ranch a bit because I've been neglecting it the past few days, and now seems like a perfect opportunity to do so since I unlocked a lot of decorations from all the treasure pods. Before I do that, I briefly go back to the glass desert and collect mosaic, dervish and tackle slimes, as well as quantum slime from the ancient ruins. The reason I'm doing this is because the master extractors, as well as some really cool decorations, require plorts from the glass desert. I visit Ogden's retreat and purchase 3 corals as well as 2 gardens. Here I make mosaic largos and plant silver parsnips, as well as installing a drone and a refinery link. After buying the decorations I wanted, I place them in the ranch. I want each area to follow a specific theme, so I put decorations from the moss blanket in the main area, crystals and glow sticks in the grotto, dry reef themed decorations in the lab, and a sunburst tree in the docks. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, but be sure to tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Since I've been absent from the ranch for so long, I have amassed nearly a million new bucks. I decided to progress on the 7G rewards club and reach the 25th rank. I'm now only 3 ranks away from full completing it, but the problem is that they're gonna cost 150,000 each. I exit my house to completely renovate the ranch. Using some spare diamonds, I craft a few fashion pods. While significant, these gadgets make the slime ranch experience 10 times better. Like, what do you mean I can make my slimes have a unibrow and a monocle? That's enough messing around. Now I want to get every achievement in the game. I've already completed a lot by playing normally, but I still need a few more. Let's start off with the easier ones, like feeding slimes on my ranch 100 chickens. I'm just gonna shoot all the chickens to the corrals of the meat-eating slimes and wait for them to devour them all. Next up, let's feed pink slimes 10 different food types. Buy a full maxed out corral, garden and coop, stay in a rat slime aura for 15 seconds, suck 15 slimes at once, which now that I can fit 100 items in one slot was pretty easy. Hold on to a tar for a prolonged amount of time. This one hurt. Having 6 different types of slimes in a corral, same thing but with 4 different types of largos. Have a boom slime explode mid-air, fill every slot of the silo with at least 50 items, have a pool party, buy 10 slime toys from our newly acquired toy shop, and finally let's jump into a corral filled with 40 slimes. The next few achievements get a lot harder. I will need a lot of royal jelly, so I craft my first royal apiaries, which have the highest chance to drop rare resources, and place them in the most blanket. After they were ready, I collect the resources and get 5 royal jellies out of 6 extractors. Using them I craft a slime stage, a slime ball hoop, and 2 master Gordo snares, which basically allows us to catch Gordos. I use the latter to catch a 100 Gordo, which I pop immediately after I get the achievement. I want to attempt to complete the hardest achievement next, getting 3 gold plorts from a singular gold slime. Here's where the gilded ginger comes into play. Gilded ginger is the gold slime's favorite food, and when consumed by one, it gives you 3 plorts instead of 1. I will need 4 gilded ginger in total, 1 as the bait, 3 to pop the gold Gordo, and 1 to feed the gold slimes. It's very crucial that I do everything perfectly, since one mistake can set me back hours by making me search for more gilded ginger. After setting the bait, I wake up on day 75 and feed the gold Gordo. But would you know it, I completely miss both my shots and the gold slimes disappear. No! While disappointed, I decide to push through, completing the rest of the achievements in the meantime and leaving this one for last. So I put a tar on the slime stage, incinerate an elder chicken. Dang, this game really loves setting chickens on fire, huh? Next I tried for the Lakers and tried to score 50 points in a single slime ball game, but failed miserably. I have an idea on how to cheat the system though. Place the hoop in the overgrowth right next to this small cliff, and by standing on the edge of it I'm able to easily shoot slimes in the basket, although that didn't make it any less intense as I got the last 3 points with 0 seconds remaining. Next up I want to complete the Slimepedia, and I'm just one discovery away from doing so. Can you guess what it is? It's a f***ing Elder Rooster. I have now completed every other achievement, so it's time to start searching for gilded ginger. While searching I hear this weird sound I've never heard before, which after checking it a bit later turned out to be a party Gordo. A pink slime that's wearing a party hat and glasses. While trying to gather food to feed it, I find a gilded ginger and my unlucky streak continues as it proceeds to get glitched in the floor. But hey, at least I got enough food to pop the party Gordo, and it explodes into party slimes, which sadly, when I pick them up, they turn back into normal and boring pink slimes. At least I got an ornament though. I finally find my first gilded ginger on day 77, only 2 more to go. After some lengthy searching I do end up finding them and get 1 extra. I place the bait, and on day 81 it's time to redeem myself, but I somehow managed to miss again. Well, I guess third time's a charm, but until then I have to find 4 more gilded ginger. On a more positive note, I finally gathered enough new bucks to finish the 7-0 rewards club. What you are about to witness next might be the luckiest and craziest thing to ever happen in Slime Rancher history. You see, I was just strolling and searching for gilded ginger when, out of nowhere, a gold slime spawned and ate a carrot, which somehow resulted in it dropping 3 plorts and me getting the achievement. Let me try to explain what happened, because at the time I was confused as well. You see, when I was buying ranks in the 7-0 rewards club, I purchased an upgrade allowing me to be able to obtain 3 gold plorts from a singular gold slime by feeding it any food, not exclusively gilded ginger. At the time I had overlooked that, but it is kinda funny how it happened randomly. What that means is that I wasted the past 10 days for nothing. I have now completed every achievement in Slime Rancher, excluding the ones require you to play rush mode. I spent the remainder of the 100 days collecting materials to craft all the gadgets I didn't get to, like this water cannon that attacks stars to keep your runs from erupting into chaos. Not that it matters now since we are approaching the end of the 100 days. I also got another gold Gordo to keep as a decoration. I also crafted this ruined pillar, a gold lamp which I literally spent an actual gold plort to craft, 3 more lamps in the overgrowth. I might have an obsession with lamps, but I'm not sure. A healing station, a cactus that can stick items to, a warp depot which basically allows you to teleport an item from one place to another, a slime bait, an echo nest that supposedly attracts echoes from the ancient ruins, a spring pad that you can use to launch yourself and slimes, and finally, a bell that comes down on nearby feral slimes. On day 99 I walk around the ranch and taking it all in one last time. Alas, I stand on top of my house and watch the sunset and rise on day 100. I survived the 100 days Slime Rancher, and that is what happened. Thank you if you made it this far, and maybe we will meet again one day. But for now, thanks for watching.